Right, and welcome to part six and the final part of this six-part lyric breakdown series of Made It Out Alive. It's gone by so quick. Like, I feel like only yesterday I started this journey of breaking down, but it's been a lot simpler than Stick of Progress, but I've enjoyed it just as much. I feel like it's a lot more fascinating because I think this series I've had a bit more critiques. I'm actually able to not just explain what the song's about, but actually evaluate kind of what I could have done better and seeing kind of the progression I've made. So I think that's really fascinating. But the last song is This Is Me. Um, I have a mixed kind of feeling with this song. I do. I feel like I never really liked it, even from the beginning, and I feel like it served its purpose, but I think as a song it was just a bit weak. Like, to be totally honest, I feel lyrically it was always decent, and I liked what I was going for, but I thought it was a song. I could have done more of it, and I felt I focused too much on kind of the narrative here than actually making it a song. It felt more like a diary entry that would force us way into being a song than an actual song. So yeah, but I'm gonna try and break this down like usual, and let's get on with it. So This Is Me was supposed to be kind of a song about holding in myself and kind of taking some time to focus on myself, the highs and lows, what I've been through in that time, and actually taking a step back to kind of remove myself from the mist and to remove myself out of the situation, actually take a step back and think, how actually am I feeling now? How are things going now? And that was kind of the purpose of it. I wrote this in about April 2022. Um, I think at that time period, I still hadn't fully processed some of the events. I still fully hadn't kind of come to terms with all of that sort of stuff. But so I think This Is Me. It'd be interesting to see how it's aged, and I'm quite excited to see how it's aged. So let's go on with it. So verse one, this is the story of me, my worst yet ever seen. My God, what a journey, just so far from my destiny. It was time in a terrible state. Simple thing to make you break. He had that hit like an equator, just sat there and soaked to the ache. I like the earthquake kind of imagery. Yeah, I feel like because I was unstable and because I was like had a lot going on, that things, the subtlest of comments and subtlest of like small little things would really affect me. And it was like I spent so much time days down, like so many days unable to sleep, so many days like so negative, and it was like I just kind of I didn't do anything about it, so I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to fix it, and things just kept getting worse. I kept digging rabbit holes. I wasn't much help to myself, and other people weren't much support really, and I kind of just burned even more bridges as time went on. So it was a mess of a time. I was just in a box. If I tried to adapt, I'd be left mentally flat, so I wouldn't quite have played it safe. Please take a risk and commit. So I never said what I felt inside. Never recognised. That's not me with Banter Pro. Yeah, I wasn't. I never always communicated what was really going on. I was so scared of kind of losing what I had at that point. It was like I didn't want to mess stuff up, and yeah, I mentioned that a lot more in like kind of some of the love arc stuff and in like bandage and that, and I think that was better affected here. But yeah, I like the box imagery, and I like a lot of the kind of imagery it used in this song. So yeah, let's get on. So that's kind of the pre-verse. The actual first verse, we're meant to go about, oh, they hit the hardest price, but I made it out all right. Makes it so quickly change the bend and go with other men, finding the real fun fake this trend. I found during this period, because I feel like we were all very sensitive. No one had a good time in that year, like for different reasons, for different levels. But I don't think, and no one came out that year and thought, you know what, that was a great year of my life. Like, not one of us did, and I think because we were all so in like bad position, it was easy for fallouts and disagreements, and I feel like the simplest thing could just tore things apart for a couple of weeks. And of course, there'd be like reconciliation and redeeming. And in the end, we made it out all right. But it was like I had to kind of work out who was telling the right thing, who was using me, and who was right and wrong. And that was kind of the case there. Also badly affected, but as I look back, I reflect, I was regretted. I was, enemy had too much empathy, couldn't do best with it. It's okay, I found myself, but leave my identity on the shelf. I know I love and know taking that from away. Yeah, I kind of throw a bit of everything, and this is me at the wall. Like, I can't really issue with the song. Is like I kind of don't have a set in stone direction with this is me. It's more like, okay, I'm gonna go on about kind of other people, and then I'm gonna focus on myself, and I'm gonna relationship breaking, and then I'm gonna go on about like some sexuality stuff, just thrown in there. And that was the original direction with This Is Me, which of course I eventually did do a homophobia based song with Undecided, which I think was a better move, and that was a way better song. But yeah, I felt This Is Me made more sense as a closure, and but I felt I was going through the motions so much. I was never really focusing on my mental health enough, and I was helping people. I was trying to do stuff for other people that I never really. I did leave with self-reflective incentives, and it was like at some point I was like, you know what, I know people aren't doing for me what I was doing for them. It's not a two-way street, and it's ironic that like everyone said that say I have an ego, and it's like a running joke, and like, but in reality, I neglected myself and I hated myself in this period, and it was like, wow. And then the chorus is this is me, and I'm not changing, never changing. I will not change for nobody. If you don't like me, no, because this is me, and I'm not changing, never changing. I kind of reinvented my personality when I first like got introduced to these lot with my current crop of friends, because my last kind of group I was in, I was not liked, so I felt I had to change myself. I had to be different. I had to not be disliked, and then so there was a lot of personas, and because of that I got hurt, and because of that I got like changed. And then at some point after all of this, I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna step out. I'm gonna be more me, and I feel like I've at this point I've like built those relationships up enough to the point where it's like, you know what? If you don't like me for me, there's no point you being there now. And I feel like I took a lot of the persona off. I took a lot of the kind of hiding off during at points in this year, and it was like that kind of backfired because I actually shared too much about my life, and then I kind of found the balance eventually of like, I'm just going to be me, but I'm also going to know the boundaries. I think there was a lot of learning curves and a lot of. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about how to negotiate things socially, and I think it did a lot for me. Verse 2. People change so quickly, so many turns and twists. When actions can change it all, one thing at a time feels small, can make an amazing relationship fall. Eventually, they return a friend to an enemy. Yeah, there was a lot of that kind of back and forth, like will they, won't they, relationship changing, and I've talked a lot about that with the song Changes and that a kind of period of time that song's kind of based in. Yeah, but it's like people do change so quickly, and people do U-turns, and it frustrates me that people kind of disregard, and people have such short memories a lot of the time and forget how much like someone's done for you, and then like the small thing can make them just turn away and just ignore it, and it's like so frustrating. With others, you can be proven right. Your worst fears come to light, and reality sinks, you come to bite and spread the ground laser and takes a moment to fade. Um, I think when you're like in love with certain people, some people around you will kind of give you warnings and will kind of be like, "This is going to go bad," and then you're going to dismiss it, and you're going to be like, "No, there's not a chance. That's You're wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong. They're not what you think they are," and then lo and behold, wow, it goes away. That they told you, and you're like, yeah, I told you so, and it's like your worst fears do come to light, and I've seen that firsthand with me, with other people, and it's kind of a sad case, but you learn from it. You learn from these situations, and I think valuing wiser, more experienced people who actually know a bit more than you, and actually taking down your ego a bit and actually admitting, yeah, you're right there. And that was, yeah, the effect how it become the defender, negative agenda can be surrendered, but he stuck to guns and in the end won. Yeah, I don't like the set of lines. And I mean, I have to explain what it means. Basically, there was basically this person that I liked. There was a few individuals who really didn't like them, and I was really frustrated because like, what have they done? And then, and in the end, like, they got the laugh on these people, and yeah, it's not aged too well, there's lyricism, but for the time it was okay. Okay, verse 3. And in the end, after all the change and twist, I'm happy with this. I found it was my own fate, made so many mistakes, time was a grave, felt happy, and because I've tried to keep it all together, thought it was the end, but I'm let it out to me. Yeah, at one point I just broke. At one point it ruined me. I was like, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave from now. I'm gonna take it back to page 1. And there's a lot of time of healing. There's a lot of kind of recovery, trying to understand kind of where I was going from. But you know, at the end of the day, I think this period taught me a lot about who I was, and I feel like this song kind of goes into the psychological kind of feeling, and it is rash because it was in the moment, and that is kind of my regret of Made It Out Alive. Is that a lot of it is emotional and it's kind of flashy and it's kind of raging because it's like I wasn't 100% aware of what's going on. I wasn't able to reflect because I was still like torn with feelings and stuff, and that's why I think Progress Progress was better because a lot of that stuff was in retrospect. A lot of that stuff was looking back at those kind of moments and thinking, you know what, I this is what really was the case here, and yeah, that's the thing. So okay, so This Is Me. I really like the song. I think it's one of the strongest. I think it's one of the better songs in the album. And yeah, so I've broken down all of Progress Sega Progress now and all of Made Out Alive. I might break down the OG Stronger and the OG Waves, just for kind of some, because I think that might be interesting to kind of go back and look at them. But yeah, that will be the case. And then when it comes to videos on this channel, I'm going to throw in a few new tier lists. At the end of every school term, and I'm going to be doing Sam's Live and kind of the day winners because there's so many per term that it's like there's no point kind of holding on. So, yeah, I'll see you soon.